Good morning, dear students. In last class, we discussed about circulatory system of prawn. Today, we are going to discuss about a new topic in the that is excretory system of prawn. It is very important topic. Compulsory ask in examination. Remember, okay? Yes. Let us see recapitulation. In last class, we learned what things circulatory system of prawn. In the circulatory system of prawn, we discussed composition of the blood of prawn and mechanism of circulation, core of circulation. These things we learned in last class. Today we are going to discuss about the excretory system of the prawn. So the excretory system meant for what purpose? Excretion purpose. It serves excretion phenomena. What is mean excretion? The elimination of nitrogenous wastes from the body called as what? Excretion. So already you know about excretion phenomena. The nitrogenous wastes to be produced due to metabolic activity in all individual, in all organisms for survival purpose. It performs various kinds of metabolic activities in the cells. In the core of that phenomena, byproducts are generated. Among them, some are nitrogenous wastes. They called what? Excretory material. If they retained in our cell ISTs, they are toxic material and kills the cells. Ultimately, the tissues undergoes death, organ system, and ultimately the individual undergoes death. So to avoid that phenomena, whatever nitrogenous waste is generated in the cell, time to time they are expelled out from the cells. They are eliminated out, expelled out through excretory organs. Such phenomena is called what? Excretion. Followed. So the excretion indirectly mediates the regulation of water and salt balance in the body fluids. Ice, they regulates the water and salt balance in the body fluids is constant motion. So indirectly, due to the excretion, what to be achieved? The water and salt balance, electrolyte balance in our body fluid maintained is constant. Such phenomena is called as what? Homeostasis. Follow? So by the excretion, what to be achieved? Homeostasis to be achieved. Let us see the excretion mediated by excretory organs. The excretory organs togetherly forms what? Excretory system. The excretory system of prawn include two kinds of organs. They are primary excretory organs and accessory excretory organs. So primary excretory organs mediates only excretion, but secondary excretory organs, accessory excretory organs are their primary function is other, but they partly assist what? Excretion. They call accessory excretory organs. So let us see the primary excretory organs are green glands, antennary glands, and accessory excretory organs are integument. Follow? So remember, the prawn consists primary excretory organs and accessory excretory organs. The primary excretory organs are green glands, they are also called antennary glands, and accessory respiratory organs integument. Follow? Yes, let us see the excretory organs in the prawn. The first primary excretory organ, green gland. You verified in the diagram, this is prawn. They are also called antennary glands because they present at the base of the antenna. Antenna or second head appendages. First head appendages are antennule, and behind the antennule one pair antenna are present, one on either side. So you verify the antenna that are marked in circle. So at the base of antenna, green glands are present. Follow? They are also called antennary glands. And next, these are antennary glands, green glands, microscopic view. And next, another excretory organ, integument, otherwise body valve. Follow? Let us see. Let us discuss in detail about green glands and antennary glands. It is very, very important. The prawn consists of one pair green glands, one pair antennary glands. They present at the base of coxa of each antenna. So coxa is a first podometer of the antenna. So at the base of coxa, the green glands are accommodated, located. These are pea-seeded shape and whitish color glands that arranged one on either side. So they are parentally as pea seed shape, and the color of the gland is light to opaque whitish in color, and they arrange at the base of the antenna, one on either side. You observe these are the green glands, so one on either side, right? So this is the arrangement of the green gland inside, not outside. Just you imagine. The second diagram you observe, that is indicates the arrangement of green gland inside the body. So in this visual representation, it is accommodated outside. In what way it arranges? Yes, listen here. The location of the green gland at the base of antennary glands, one on either side. Followed? And you observe this the same green gland arranged inside the body below the chitinous plates, below the carapace at the base of antennary gland, like this. Second visual representation, you verify green color parent gland is there is green gland. And the third visual representation, microscopic view of green gland. Followed? Right. So this is a green gland and its microscopic view, and you have to draw the green gland diagram in examination, this one. Followed? The green gland include various parts. The green gland of prawn consists these parts sequentially. They are end sac and labyrinth, also called glandular plexus, bladder, ureter, renal pore, and next lateral ducts, one pair, and then transverse connective and renal sac. All these are we found in the structure of the antennary gland. Once again, you have to observe all these parts in the diagram. This is green gland. So the green gland include end sac. This is end sac, and the second part, the labyrinth. You observe this is labyrinth, and third part, bladder. Followed. Next, lateral ducts and connectives, renal sac. Followed? So all these are, yes. Let us learn in detail about each and every structure. The first structure is end sac. You have to verify the location of end sac in the diagram. So that is end sac. It is a small bean-shaped, kidney-shaped structure that present between bladder and glandular plexus. Remember, it is a bean-shaped structure that remained between bladder and glandular plexus. You observe arrow mark, that is bladder, and another arrow mark you observe, that is glandular plexus. So in between these two structures, centrally a minute bean-shaped structure present. So that is considered as end sac. Followed? Inside the circle, it marked, that is end sac. Right? Next, if we observe the histology of end sac, you observe this is end sac. If we observe section of the end sac, it appeared like this. You verify that at the base of the diagram, the bean shaped structure is there. So this is end sac. So present inside the circle, you verify that is end sac. Right? Yes. So the end sac is a bilayered sac-like structure. So the outer layer of end sac include connective tissue along with blood lacunae, and the inner layer consists single row of excretory epithelial lining. Now you observe the histology of end sac. You observe the section of the end sac. Inside the section of the end sac, you observe the outer layer is present and inner layer is present. The outer layer, it is a bilayered sac, so the outer layer is exclusively connective tissue layer. In this layer, we found blood lacunae, blood filled spaces are present. The innermost layer is exclusively epithelial lining, the blue color arrow mark you verify. So that is the innermost layer. The innermost layer is exclusively formed with excretory epithelial cells. So such excretory epithelial lining shows invaginations. You verify in the diagram. So numerous invaginations are projected into the end sac. So the wall of end sac gave rise numerous projections into central hollow cavity, which called radial septa. They named as what? Radial septa. The end sac opens into labyrinth by minute duct. Okay, so the same end sac structure, it opened into labyrinth, glandular plexus, that is peripheral part of the renal gland. Outside it remained. So the end sac open into that labyrinth by minute duct. Follow? Right. Next, the subsequent part of the green gland is the labyrinth and glandular plexus. You have to locate in the diagram. So this is labyrinth, glandular plexus. Follow? Present outside to end sac. Right. So this is labyrinth or glandular plexus. It is main part of green gland that remain outside the end sac. And next, the size of labyrinth comparatively greater than end sac. So it is larger in size. Let us see the histology of labyrinth or glandular plexus. Anatomy of the glandular plexus. This is labyrinth or glandular plexus. And if we observe the microscopic view of the glandular plexus, it appeared like this. Okay, so you verify the outer portion. So whatever shown in circle, so that is the labyrinth portion. Remember, right? Clear? So it includes numerous branched coiled tubular structures. They called excretory tubules. If we observed labyrinth portion, the labyrinth portion contain many number of branched coiled tubular structures. In the transfer section, they appeared as circular tubes, but they are branched coiled tubular structures. They called what? Excretory tubules. So they are accommodated in connective tissue. So the excretory tubules embedded in connective tissue that contain blood lacunae. These are excretory tubules and they embedded in connective tissue. You observe the red color arrow, that is connective tissue, which consists blood filled spaces. They call what? Blood lacunae. So this is a histology of labyrinth. Followed. So the labyrinth is nothing but glandular plexus present outside to end sac. It is a larger than end sac. It consists many number of coiled excretory tubules, and these excretory tubules present in connective tissue. Connective tissue contain blood lacunae. And if we observe excretory tubules, the excretory tubules are lined with, you observe these are excretory tubules. These excretory tubules are lined with single row of excretory epithelial cells. Hello. Each and every excretory tubule lined up with a single row of excretory epithelial cells. The excretory epithelial cells uh, absorbs the excretory material from the blood lacunae and prepares the excretory material like ammonia and uric acid. Further, these epithelial cells of excretory tubules open into bladder by means of a many openings. So every excretory tubule they open into bladder. Let us see the bladder where it located. You have to trace out the location of bladder first. So this is bladder shown in circle, that is bladder. Followed. So inside to end sac it is present bladder. It is a larger sac-like structure present inner margin to end sac. It is thin-walled sac-like structure that formed with a single layer of excretory epithelial cells. This is bladder. Okay. The bladder stores what excretory material, and bladder ultimately leads into a short tube. You verify. Okay. So the red color arrow, you verify there is a short tube. So the bladder lead into short tube, that is called excretory duct, otherwise it is also called ureter. So this ureter open out by means of renal pore. The renal pore aperture placed at the base of antenna on papillae. Okay. So with the help of renal pore it opens outside. Followed. So with this we finished bladder. The subsequent part of green gland, lateral ducts. One pair lateral ducts are present, one pair lateral ducts present, one on either side. These lateral ducts run backward from the bladder of green gland, and ultimately these two lateral ducts going to fuse with a transverse tube, so that is connective, and these lateral ducts these lateral ducts collects excretory material from end sac and labyrinth, remember. And next another part is transverse connective. These two lateral ducts are joins at in front of the brain by means of a transverse connective. You observe that is transverse connective. Lateral ducts runs backward along the esophagus and ultimately open into renal sac. Right? Let us see what is renal sac. This is the final part of the green gland. It is a larger sac-like structure. Two lateral ducts runs backward along the esophagus and ultimately open into renal sac. Okay, you observe the renal sac in the diagram visual representation. So this is renal sac, and it is larger thin-walled sac, lies above the cardiac stomach and below the carapace, and ultimately the renal sac open into the gut. So it is lined up with single layer of excretory epithelial cells, and they are open into gut. So the excretory material and excess amount of water to be relieved into the gut. Followed. So it is for osmoregulation purpose, right? Yes. The another excretory organ, accessory excretory organ, integument, body wall. So you observe visual representation are marked in circle. So that is body wall. The outermost layer is integument layer. It is outermost non-living chitinous layer of the body wall. It also involves excretion. Actually the primary function is protection, but here it also serves partly excretion. It is important excretory organ in prawns. So they collects nitrogenous wastes from the blood and they deposited such wastes in this layer, and ultimately such excretory waste material to be eliminated at the time of shed off body wall, shed off integument layer during molting. During molting process, the uppermost layer of the body wall shed off. At that time, all these deposited nitrogenous wastes to be eliminated out. Follow? So this is the function of the integument. Right. Let us see the physiology of excretion. The green gland serves both osmoregulation and as well as excretion. Remember, the two functions they serve. The end sac of green gland excretes ammonia and the labyrinth of green gland excretes uric acid. Okay, the prawn excretes both ammonia and uric acid. The ammonia separated by end sac and uric acid separated by labyrinth of green glands. Let us see the mechanism of excretion. So the excretory organ green gland. So the excretory material that present in blood lacunae first absorbed by excretory epithelial lining of end sac, and next another part of the green gland labyrinth. So the excretory epithelial lining whatever present in glandular plexus also uptake the nitrogenous wastes from the blood, and as well as partly some amount of the nitrogenous wastes uptake into integument body wall. So three ways are there: end sac collects the nitrogenous wastes and labyrinth integument. All these are collects the nitrogenous wastes from the blood. Then processing takes place. Yes. Then from the end sac, the collected nitrogenous wastes sent to transport to labyrinth glandular plexus. Here what happens? Whatever the collected material is present, so there selective reabsorption takes place under labyrinth. The epithelial cells of labyrinth assist what selective reabsorption. So whatever useful material present in absorbed material, so the useful material again reabsorb into the blood. So resorption of the useful material uh, occur into the blood, that is selective reabsorption. The remaining pure excretory material sent to the bladder. From the bladder, the nitrogenous wastes reaches to ureter renal duct, and from the renal duct through the renal pores, the excretory material eliminated out, expelled out. So another process is the integument. Whatever nitrogenous waste material deposited in the integument during molting, they shed off. Hello. So this is yes, this is a mechanism of excretion. You verify. So first you have to start explanation from beginning. Number one, I indicated with number one, the excretory material present in blood lacunae. Such excretory material trapped in what way, in what structure, and it going to lead what process. Entire things mentioned in this flow chart. You have to write the same flow chart in examination. Alright, right? So excretory material from the blood lacunae absorbed into end sac, labyrinth, and integument. From the end sac, it transported to labyrinth. In the labyrinth, it processed to selective resorption, useful material again uptake into blood. The pure excretory material become transported into bladder, from the bladder to ureter, ureter to renal pore to expel out. In the same manner, whatever excretory material deposited in integument, that to be shed off during molting process. Okay, clear? Right. Next, With this, we finished the phenomena of excretion. In next session, we are yes. In next session, we are going to discuss about the nervous system of prawn. It is very important topic, and some contents concerned to nervous system of prawn definitely asked in examination. Right. With this, we yes, this is the nervous system of prawn. Right.